Howdy, hey, hello, it's McKenna, and this is Munch and Mingle. This is going to be a great interview because this is a great person I have sitting across from me, one who I'm truly blessed to know and will forever be blessed in the rest of my life. For that, we have got my dear sweet friend Hannah T. Her last name, well, it's a tongue twister. I don't know how to say it.
Me neither. No, it's Tualamali.
She's poly. No, correction. She's married to a poly.
Yeah. Yes.
So we call her Hannah T. Before we get into anything today, we're going to have her explain her munchie that she has for us.
Absolutely. I brought mini M&Ms, and if you think any M&M is better than this, you're lying to yourself because they're so good. They're tiny, which makes them supreme always. And they come in this fun blue bag, which blue is my favorite color. So those are all the reasons it's my favorite.
Have you always loved just mini M&Ms?
Yes. Like when they came in the tubes.
I was just going to say the tube with the flip top.
Exactly. Guzzle, guzzle. Yes. They're so good. But the bag now is my favorite. I like to have them with ice cream.
Oh, yeah.
Just a little ice cream moment.
Oh, yeah. That's like a McDonald's McFlurry McDream.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Wow. Okay. Well, Hannah, we've got so much to talk about today, and I'm so grateful that you're doing that. As we record this, you're preparing to move to Logan.
Yes.
By the time this airs, you will be in Logan. L-Town. You'll be going to school.
Yes.
Again.
It's
okay. It's on the train that never ends.
It's exciting. It's not work.
No.
Which should be better. Should be better.
Let's just dive in a little bit to who you are, and then we'll kind of get to the whole point that I wanted to have you here. Let's start at the beginning. Tell us about your grown-up life. It's kind of unique.
Yes. Yes. So I am the youngest of 4. My mom was married before. She was married and had my 2 oldest siblings. They're my half siblings. And then she got divorced. She got remarried, divorced one more time, and then she married my dad. And my dad, he's the best. He was never supposed to have kids. He was born premature, and he was told that he was infertile completely. So he was so excited to have my oldest 2 siblings, my step siblings, half siblings, because he wasn't supposed to have any kids, and he was adopting them into his family. They took his last name and everything. And then they had my brother, my blood brother, and then me. So we were kind of the surprises or the accidents, depending on who you ask. And yeah, so we have the 2 half siblings and then the 2 younger siblings. There's about 10 years in between us. I genuinely did not know we were a blended family until I was like 16 because they had the same last name. And then I asked someone one day at school, they were like, tell me about your family. I was like, oh, I have these 2 older siblings. And they're like, oh, they don't look anything like you guys. And I was like, oh, they have different dads. And someone was like, oh, you're a blended family. And I was like,
oh, like it didn't.
I was like, I'm shocked. We're a blended family. I had no idea. My parents did a very good job with it. They
cleaned it up real nice.
Yeah, I had no clue. And we had the same last name too, so it wasn't different at all. They don't have any contact with their birth father or anything like that. So I had absolutely no clue. But there is a stark difference there. They're like so cute and petite and tiny. And my dad is like a very large man. And so we had no chance. We were going to be big. So, yeah.
So you have a very unique skill. We'll call it that.
We'll call it a skill. Yeah. I like that.
You play rugby.
Yes.
When did you start?
I started my sophomore year of high school. I'd always been into sports, and I played volleyball for a long time. I loved volleyball.
Yes.
But I wasn't very tall. I'm average. I'm 5'8". I saw a women's rugby game going on, and I was like, oh, I didn't know girls could play this sport because my brother played, but I was like, I had no idea girls could play. And I wanted to hit someone. And I was like, that looks kind of fun. And so I talked to my brother's coach, his rugby coach, and I was like, where's the closest girls team? He's like, oh, we don't have any. And I was like, okay. And why?
She's the man 2.0.
Seriously, I said, let's get things going here. So we made a rugby team at my school.
You were the start of that?
Yep, just from the ground up.
I didn't know that.
Eagle, Idaho, baby.
Wow.
Eagle, Idaho. We started a team. It was like 2 schools combined at first, and then slowly it just progressed from there. Now they have like JV and varsity teams at each separate school in Idaho. It's crazy. It's blown up. Kind of the start of it.
Okay, so, when there's an arena, I want your name to be on.
They better name that after me.
Like the Hannah Beagley at the time.
Yeah, Beagley.
Stadium.
Exactly. That's exactly what I was thinking. I'm so glad we're on the same track. Yeah, I need a stadium. went to BYU and I continued to play there.
Okay. Did you go on scholarship?
No. I guess BYU right now, they don't have women's scholarships.
You're right. Britain was telling me this.
Kind of confusing. Whole Title IX thing, but we won't get into that. I could go off. No, but yeah, so there's no scholarships or anything. At the time, BYU had just gotten out of like being a club sport. So we were just barely sanctioned when I got there to like wear the Y on our jerseys and everything.
Well, this is so unique.
Yeah.
It's it's a different world.
Yeah.
But this is why. Munch and Mingle, we are uncovering what needs to be uncovered.
We're uncovering the secrets. Scholarships at BYU, everyone, for women's rugby. And men's, sure, they can have some.
Sure. What was life like then? I mean, it was a club then?
Right as I got there, it had just changed from a club to sanctioned by BYU.
Okay.
Meaning that we got travel funds now. We didn't have to fundraise anymore. We got to wear the Y on our jerseys. So when they got the brand new jerseys, we wore them like my very first year there. We got the big Y on us and we could actually call ourselves the BYU women's rugby team. Before that, it was Cougar Women's Legacy Rugby. Long title. But yeah, so they couldn't play on campus at all. They'd have to find a park to go to and wait till like the lights turned on in the morning it was crazy.
Gosh.
Yeah. When I got there, we were able to use like the indoor practice facility during the winter and the Helaman Park, Helaman Field actually is what it's called. Right by the football stadium. It's like right south. So yeah, once I got there, I didn't do any of the hard work. They had already
like, thank you.
Yeah, I was like,
for those
so
who trode before us.
Yeah, exactly. God bless. But yeah, it was super fun. I played all my years at BYU and
wow.
Yeah.
What were you going to school for?
I was originally going to school for special education.
Oh.
That was what I was doing pre-mission. And then I played at BYU then. And then when I got back from my mission, I changed to communication disorders. That's where I stayed. So that's what I graduated in and played all the time I was there.
If anyone who wants to play rugby out there, any advice or what would you say the best? If you look at you, you're the first thought I don't think is she must want to hit someone.
Right.
So the fact that that's what led you to rugby.
It's the inner thoughts.
To anyone else who might be thinking that. What's the best way to go about it?
The best thing about rugby is that there is a position for every single person. Again, back to my father's genes. I've got big shoulders. Okay. And I knew I was going to be good at hitting people because I was like, look at the surface area. I've got it. I'm ready. But there's a position for everyone. So I'm not very fast, but I can hit hard. And so there's a position for that. There's girls who are so super fast, but can't hit very hard. There's some that are just in the middle. There's some really tall girls. One of my best friends played, she's 6'1", and we can lift her up in the air for part of our set pieces and everything like that. So there's truly a position for everyone. We had a girl on the team that was 4'10". She was one of our best players. So we've got this massive range of heights and skills and weights. And that was the best thing about rugby because there is a position for every single person. So if you want to play, just find some way to get exposed to it.
Is the exposure big in Utah then? I mean, if we've got a BYU team.
There's a lot of club teams. Most high schools have a team now. Or you can some high schools will combine like women's teams because there's not as many girls as boys that play. Yeah. But yeah, there's a lot. And my husband coaches for some high school teams too. So.
Perfect segue. Your husband. Let's talk about Matt.
Matty boy.
Matty boy.
Matty.
The best part is you both served in youth callings in our ward.
Yes.
So I got to see you both interact.
Yes.
Almost all the time, which was just a treat.
So fun. Especially those sports nights.
The sports nights were my favorite.
Yes. So my husband plays he played. We both are in retirement right now from rugby. He played at UVU and we met... Dare I say it? We met online on Mutual.
It's so common now.
Yep, during
really
COVID.
Is. Oh, during especially.
COVID. Yeah, we had. This is what I wanted. I wanted to get on and text some people for a few weeks. I said that sounds like a fun thing to do. I was fine. I was good being single. I was happy, and I said let's just text. Let's just have some fun texting buddies.
I'm bored. It's COVID.
I'm bored. Exactly. I was bored. Got on there, texted him. He actually this is funny. He invited me to go on a date. He asked me on a date and I said, I made up something. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so busy. Why? Because I had a different date from Mutual.
Oh my Atlanta.
Yes.
Miss Popular.
This was a very average Utah man, however. And I said,
the first date.
Yeah, the first date.
Okay,
I said, yeah, let's go out on this date. So we went out on the date. I said no to Matt. And then Matt went out of town for 2 weeks and his mutual profile changed to like Colorado. That's where he's from. And I thought he had moved for good. And I went to bed that night after the other date. That was so boring. I went to bed that night and I cried because I was like, I just missed my opportunity with this beautiful, he was from Samoa. I said, with this beautiful Samoan man, I missed my chance. And then he messaged me, he got back into town. He messaged me and said that there was a bonfire and that I should come. And I was like, oh, maybe I'll go. I was kind of nervous. And then he knew one of my mutual friends. So my teammate and his teammate were engaged. And they invited us to go together. So we went together and that's where we met at the bonfire. I think we probably spoke 15 words to each other because we were both so nervous. And then he asked me on a date there. And the first date went much better than the bonfire. But
Great.
yes.
Where did it go from there?
Yes. So
we met in 2020, what month?
We met in end of May, probably June.
Okay.
June. We started dating in June of 2020.
Okay.
This is wild. He told me he wanted to marry me in August of that year. So like 2 months. I said,
He is.
excuse me? No. I was like, I'm 22. No, 21 at the time. I'm 22. I don't know what you're talking about. I was like, you're crazy. And he wouldn't laugh at my jokes for a while because he like would not let me have that. And I'm funny. And I was like, you better laugh.
Yeah.
You better laugh.
We can't even talk about marriage till I get you laughing.
Exactly. Anyway, then he started laughing. Then he became very charming. And I was like, okay, maybe, but let's give it a while. So we dated for about 15 months and then got engaged and then got married in Hawaii.
This is, as a wedding planner, this has made, you would think I would be like so disheartened, but we have to talk about your wedding.
We have to.
You went to Hawaii to get married.
Yes.
Now his family lived in Hawaii?
Yes.
Okay.
So his dad is in the Army. They move around a lot for his job. I don't know what they're called. Stations.
Yeah.
Something.
I should know this.
They moved around a lot.
But I don't.
During that time from 2019 to 2022, they lived in Hawaii.
Okay.
And his dad is not a member. And so we definitely wanted to include him. And some of my family is not active as well. And so I really wanted to include the family as much as we could. And I also wanted the best of both worlds. I wanted a summer wedding dress because I didn't want the sleeves. And I know that's not a big deal, but it was to me.
Yeah.
And so we decided that we were going to get married in December. That was kind of our timeline. We decided to get married in Hawaii, just on the beach. And it was his family with his siblings. My mom and dad came with one of my siblings. My other siblings couldn't come. And it was absolutely amazing.
So if anyone missed it, she eloped. In Hawaii.
It was a planned elopement, but it wasn't eloped. And it was so fun. It was so like simple. His mom's ward that she attends, their bishop came and we seriously just held hands on the beach for a little bit, had like a 5-minute little ceremony, got all dressed up, took some pictures. It was like the perfect overcast. It wasn't too hot. It was beautiful. I would never change anything about it. It was awesome. We ended up getting sealed in May of the next year. So 2022, we got sealed and we had a reception then in Idaho and got sealed in Idaho. And that was fun. It was a good time, but that ceremony on the beach, there was nothing beating it.
Okay, so you've eloped in Hawaii. You guys then moved back to Utah, or did you go to Idaho?
We just stayed in Utah. Matt was finishing up school and I was just going to work. I graduated right before we got married, like a couple weeks before. And now I've just been working at an ENT center. I do hearing tests.
It's incredible.
It's the life. It's the life. It's been challenging in and of itself to work full time, brings on different things and a lot less time to do what you would like to do, but it's been a good job and it helped me with where I'm going in life. So that was nice.
So we have to talk about your special shout out. It can be like a podcast to a podcast.
Exactly.
So you and I were talking when we first met, we were talking about this podcast. And then you had told me, oh yeah, I've met a podcaster, not just a podcaster, like one of the queens of the Bad Broadcast.
Exactly.
She came to your center?
She came to our office. I don't even remember what was going on because I was fangirling so hard. I saw her name and I said, I was heavy breathing. I was about to be in tears. So she comes back. I was like, I'm going to be very professional. Like, I'm not going to say anything.
Right.
Call her name, bring her back to the room. As we're walking back, I'm walking in front of her. She said, you have such beautiful hair.
Doors
Done
open.
for. I said, I love your podcast. That was it. I said, well, turns out I'm actually obsessed with you. So that's really nice that you said that. And I'm going to hold on to that for the rest of my life. Yeah. I don't even remember what she was there for. We did the hearing test. And then in her episode podcast, she said, shout out to Hannah. And I said, well, perfect, because HIPAA, I can now talk about it because she said my name. So yes, I did meet her. She was incredible.
Wow. Now we gotta talk about how we met. It's
Tender.
a great story.
Tender.
I brought the flowers for the moment. So Hannah and I were in the same ward, about to not be anymore though. Mm-hmm. You were in the Young Women's Presidency as a secretary. When did you get called when Sister Jorgensen got called?
No. So I guess we moved into the ward in January right after we got married. And then I got called in April. Okay. So it'd been a few months.
So you got called in April of last year.
Yes.
2022.
Mm-hmm.
And you were the secretary. And I then got called to be the Young Women's President in January of this year. And all I was told is, you have to find a whole new presidency. Now, at this point, I knew no one in the ward. I was like chilling in my back corner of the chapel every Sunday, beelining for the door as soon as sacrament's over. It was a dark time in McKenna Hogan's life. So I'm going through the names, and all I can remember is there's this one girl and her husband who sat in front of us one Sunday. And I remember because you were right in front of me and I was looking at your dress. It was a velvet dress.
The blue velvet dress. Yes. I know exactly what you're talking about.
And I'm sitting there. I should probably be focusing, on what's happening in sacrament.
It's a sparkly dress. I can't blame you.
I'm literally looking at your dress being like, that is so cute. Like, that's such a cute dress. And I saw you're married to a Polynesian, and in our family, we have a Polynesian in the family. So I'm just like, she's probably really cool. It's usually that if these Polongis are married to Polys, they're probably really cool. And that was it. We never talked. Mm-hmm. You were out, we were gone. And so that was like a couple weeks. Then I get called, and your back of your head, I knew the side of your face, but I was like, it came into my mind and I was like, I want to find that girl. So I'm having to go through the whole directory, be like, okay, it's got to be a Samoan name. Yep. So I'm going through, find this long last name. I was like, that's got to be her. Click on it. I'm like, that's them. But then I look on the directory and it says on the calling that you were already the secretary. So I was like, oh, crap. Like they just told me that she got released. And I was like, dang. I go to Bishop with the names, and that's when he told me, oh, whoa. Why are you calling a secretary? And I was like, you said I had to change the whole presidency. And he's like, no. Hannah's going to stay. And I was like, hallelujah.
Perfect.
Like, that is how I knew. I was like, we're meant to be in the presidency together. So that was my first impression of you.
Yes.
And then comes our presidency.
It was perfect.
I love it.
It was perfect.
You guys made it perfect.
We made it perfect.
No, we are all so different and so amazing.
Yeah.
Like, somehow we all gelled.
It worked so well.
No one knowing anybody.
Yeah.
Like, none of us knew each other. Mm-mm. And somehow it worked.
It was like incandescent is the word. Yes. It was just like this mixture of so many different personalities, but it was beautiful.
All of our strengths.
Yes.
Totally coincided.
Yes. I remember talking to Vanessa one day about like one of her weaknesses and one of my strengths, and how it was just like perfect together. It was amazing. It
was such a great time. So it was a very short calling.
Short-lived.
Short-lived, and it's very sad. And one of Vanessa, who was the first counselor, is now the Young Women's President. Shout out Geneva Heights, 7th Ward. You guys are great, and we miss you. So yeah, both me and Hannah have moved from that ward, and so that's where it got all dissolved and whatnot. But the whole point of why you're here, Hannah, you have touched my life, and I know you are going to touch many other people's lives because of some experiences we had at girls' camp and of a particular lesson that you gave with one of our girls. Yes. And it has changed my life.
That's so nice.
I don't know if anyone you know out there, Young Women's program has changed. Best change there could be. Like, Young Women's is amazing.
It's so different. I remember getting in there and they're like, we were having, what was it? What does it used to be called? Evening in Excellence or something? No, the other one.
Wait, I know what you're saying.
The one at the beginning of the year.
Oh, New Beginnings.
New Beginnings. Mm-hmm. And they're like, oh, we don't call it that anymore. And I was like, oh, here's the deal. I haven't been in a calling and this is my first one. And also I'm 22. I was like, I have no idea what is new and what's not new. So you're going to have to like lay this out, but it's crazy different and so good. So for the better.
Yes. Yeah. So every Sunday they have a girl and a leader. Technically it's most likely like a lot of it is led by the youth now. We are just there as chaperones, I would say.
Yes.
They really are like, please do not be as involved as we used to as leaders.
Which is hard to take a back seat sometimes.
Yes.
Especially my personality. I have a very hard time being like, it's yours. So that was difficult.
The advice I got when I first got the calling was from my aunt, who was a Young Ones president in Vegas. And she said, you're going to have to learn how to let people fail in this calling. I'm like, do you realize what you just said to me?
Do you realize that's my kryptonite? I am not able to do that. I cannot
just stand there and let people like fail right in front of me. I'm like, let me take the reins.
I can't do it.
That's why I'm like, Heavenly Father knows. He knew there was going to be leaders like us. He's like, we're going to learn. Yeah. We're going to learn and it's going to be better.
To just sit there with that secondhand embarrassment for just a moment longer than you think is good.
We're not really that cutthroat. No. It was just enough that it was like, okay.
This is new.
Yeah. So I thought our girls did really well. And maybe it's because I will give it back to you guys as counselors. You guys allowed them all the resources that they needed. And so every lesson, it was like, if you were in charge of that lesson, you would go talk to the girl. You would be like, hey, so here's where we are in the lesson plan. How do you want to approach it? Whatnot. And it was great. It was the Sunday before girls camp. Like we leave for girls camp on Tuesday. And it was you and sweet little JoJo teaching that day.
Yeah. And for context, she's 11. And I said, how am I going to involve an 11-year-old to do a whole lesson? So
first time
she's ever done. But it was amazing. I kind of just like,
let's tell them what the subject was.
Oh, the atonement of Jesus Christ. I mean, simple, right? For sure. And sacred. Yes. Like, what do you begin to go from there?
Yeah.
So I was looking at the lesson plan, and I was at work that day, and it was a slow day. Don't tell my boss. And I was working on my lesson plan because I think it was like Wednesday or something. I needed to get this paper over to JoJo. She showed up a couple minutes before the lesson. We sat down, and I do not know how what came out because it was inspired, obviously. It was inspired because, and not by me, because I don't know. I feel like that topic itself, the atonement of Jesus Christ, is so all-consuming that it can be hard to pick a direction to go in. And also before the lesson, I took a moment and I just was like, I don't know if you remember this. I was like, this is a deep topic today, guys, because I'm a goofy gal. And I was like, I know that they're probably expecting me to get up here, crack some jokes. Like this is a comedy show. But this lesson, if even when times that my testimony has struggled, nothing can change the testimony that I have of the Savior Jesus Christ. Nothing. And so I was like, if I can teach these girls one thing before we go into camp, is that the Savior loves them. He lived and died for them. And he knows what they're going through. I was like, if this is the last thing I leave them with, the last time I teach, like this is going to be good. And before I like said a prayer, I was like, hey, listen, Heavenly Father. Again, even when my testimony is lacking, I know that the Spirit is going to make up for it. And I want their hearts to be touched. And that was all I said. I was like, please make this happen. And I don't even know what it was. I had found some scriptures beforehand, but everyone was involved. Everyone had put their phones down.
Yes.
Like I felt eyes on me. And then JoJo teaching, she was like spitting all of these truths. And I was like, what is going on? It was just so cohesive and beautiful. And the Spirit was so strong.
Oh, yeah.
And testimonies were shared. Like one of our girls who's about to graduate, she shared her testimony in that. And I was like, oh, I'm getting emotional just thinking about it because it was so pure. And the only way I can describe it is just, I was literally just there as like a conduit for the Spirit, and it was shooting out to every single person. And then to have that moment where you like feel the Savior's love for the girls. Oh, tears coming out of my eyes. It's so emotional and so powerful. Like it's just so simple and strong. And I was like, well, I hope they know. Yeah. Because then I felt like it was a good segue into girls camp, because it's like, hey, if you don't know this already, it's about time to find out, you know, like this girls camp this next week in 2 days that we're going to go on, this is your time to ask. And I don't know. I think it was just timing. It was right place, right time for me. And it did kind of, like you said, like it kind of changed the course of that week for me going into it, and changed how I felt about the Savior, even just days before we went to girls camp, which we needed.
Because yes, as the days would go on, we figured out we were really going to need that.
We were in for it. Yeah.
Okay, you have to say the one thing that you told us, what you learned on your mission from your mission president. That was the one thing that I was like,
The wording.
Yes.
Okay. So my first mission president, I had this very special bond with, just because of some of the things I went through at the beginning of my mission. Very anxious, almost went home for a little bit, and he was like, I can feel that you need to stay out here. And I was like, can you let me feel it? Because I'm not feeling it. But he was incredible. And in one of our, it was either a zone conference or a leadership meeting. I don't remember. Someone said the atonement, just plain the atonement. And he stopped the meeting and he raised his hand and he said, listen, the atonement is incomplete without Jesus Christ. And we're like, of course. And he's like, no, you don't get it. Like, if you say the sentence, the atonement, it means nothing. You have to include Jesus Christ with what his sacrifice was. And it was like silent in the room. We were all like, kind of open eyes, like, oh my gosh, this is so good. And he's like, if you say it in a sentence, you need to say Jesus Christ and his atonement. Or if you say Jesus Christ and then continue to speak it in the same sentence and you say his atonement, that's good. Things like that. Just because that event literally changed all of history. And if we are not doing the justice to Jesus Christ that we need to include his name with it. We need to include, because that is what he did. No other person could have done that event, that sacrifice. Nothing else is impossible to have the atonement without Jesus Christ. And so ever since then, I talked about the girls with that too, because every time I hear the atonement now by itself, I'm like, don't forget who did it. So I talked to the girls about that and just was like, we need to include Jesus Christ with his atonement. And
it literally changed my whole life right there. Like, I'm sitting there, returned missionary, wife and mom, and I'm just like, I'm almost 30 years old and I did not figure this out. But like, how just that little reframing of a sentence, it just puts so much more impact into what is Jesus Christ and his atonement. Mm-hmm. Wow.
It's stunning. It's so cool. Every time I talk about it, I get chills again, because I'm like, I just remember that moment and how intense it was. And then the mission president let the poor elder continue, and he's like stumbling over his words. He's like, oh my gosh, I'm overthinking everything. But yeah, so now that's just one shift that I feel like is an easy thing to do too, to just include Jesus Christ when you're talking about his atonement.
Yes.
It's easy, but
it is.
And it's powerful when you remember it, when you remember.
100%.
Yeah.
We go on from that lesson. That's Sunday. And just all of us. I was excited for camp, but for some reason at the end of that lesson, all of us were like, can't wait to get to camp.
I almost wanted to leave right then.
I don't know why.
I don't know
why
either.
was it so, but I'm grateful it was, because even the girls were like, we're so excited.
Yeah.
And I think it was the shift that everyone needed.
Yeah.
So then we go to Monday. And this, okay, I guess this could be one of the reasons I do believe that our presidency was called. And they know this. I've said this to them. I love all of our girls. But we had 2 girls who graduated from high school and were like leaving Young Women's. And I made them promise. I'm like, just because you're graduated, you might be 18, you're still coming to girls camp.
Which was so awesome that they did. When I turned 18, I was like, see ya. I left so fast. I probably missed an amazing camp.
Oh,
I was so glad they came.
But so because of that, I also was like, look, I'm going to do something for you. We put together we called it our YCL/graduate dinner. It was just those 2, and it was just us leaders with them. And we each gave them, it was like a mini fireside. We did Pizzeria Limone for the food. Amazing.
Stunning. Not sponsored, but wish we were.
I will be calling them. Like, we need to talk. But then we each gave them a little life lesson of something we wish we would have known when we were graduating Young Women's. The spirit, just palpable. Like, you were like,
so strong. It was an event. It was a marathon of the spirit. And this was only day 2. We weren't even at camp. Oh. So
then Tuesday comes. Bless your heart. You had to work.
I had to work.
But amazingly enough, you were called to Heber.
Yeah, I was working at our Heber office.
And our cabin was in Walsburg.
So it was 20-minute drive after work.
Yes. So you came and saw us off in the morning. We got breakfast, then we all headed out. And then you got there that night. And then it begins.
So it goes.
It's a cabin. I understand that. These people do not live here full time. Okay? That's fine. That's fine. We get there and I just noticed, there's a little bit more bugs than I realized that would be in a cabin. Most of them dead, all by the windowsill. Okay.
Nature.
Fine. So I was like, don't worry. We had our camp director's husband going around, spraying. And I was like, why is he spraying if they're dead? Oh, there's wasps coming out of the ceiling. Okay. bless the girls.
Specifically the girls' room.
I don't know how they were like, oh, hey, Jared, there's another wasp. They were so calm and collected. I was like, me as a young woman, I'd be like, hey, can I go home now?
Yeah.
Take
me back to the church because I did not sign up for wasp.
Wasp infested ceilings.
Oh.
So he's spraying. I'm vacuuming. I'm cleaning up all the dead whatever. The girls are just downstairs playing fine, whatever. At this point, I don't know if he was just, I don't know how we found it. We then find a dead bat underneath one of the girls' beds. Now, parents might be listening at this point being like, you are the worst camp leaders in the world. I might agree with you at this point.
It's still to be decided.
Because I'm almost to that tipping point, like, this is a lot. Like, are we really having to worry about bats in the cabin? I somehow felt that you'd expect that in a tent, but we're in a cabin. So again, it's fine. It was dead. We gave it a proper burial. It was fine. So we go to get ready for bed. Girls are in their bunk room and all of us leaders are in our room. And this is the part I was most excited about for all week because we all knew at this point that we were going to get released. This was our last thing going out. So I'm pumped. I'm like, yes, I get pillow talk with my leaders. Like, this is the moment we've all been waiting for. And we go into our room. We've got my 3 counselors all on air mattresses and I'm in the bed that was given. I was like, great. So I'm getting ready to get in the bed. You're blowing up your air mattress. And I see this little bug on my bed. I'm like, okay.
Nature.
Swat it away. And then I see another one. I'm like, there cannot be another bug. I'm like, okay, weird. I then go to pull the sheets back. And I see a little bit of little black dots.
A little bit of everywhere.
And I look at you and I say, Hannah, what is this? Bless you and your subtlety because
I said, you know what? I had bed bugs on my mission and that looks a lot like the same thing. But I wasn't looking close because I was also petrified.
Yes. So at this moment, both me and Hannah freeze. I don't even think there were many words exchanged. I think we just looked at each other and it's like we telepathically knew we're done. It's time to go home.
Yeah.
And y'all are in air mattresses, but I'm like, I didn't bring an air mattress. Where am I sleeping? Mm-hmm. Now I'm at my tipping point. I've dealt with freaking fly infestations by the windowsill. I've dealt with wasps coming out of a ceiling, a dead bat, and now I possibly have bed bugs in my bed. I have now gone over, and I literally am like, so we need to go home. Can't do this anymore. Girls are asleep in their bunk beds. And I'm like, what if they're sleeping among like mice right now? We have no idea. And I don't feel like this is smart. So we call our camp director up. She calls her husband up. We had another priesthood leader there. They're all looking and they're like, no, that's not bugs.
It's just mouse poop. The sentence that is truly horrifying.
You're like, oh, that's better.
Interesting. I still don't want it.
So at this point, Hannah is concocting a plan of like,
I had my keys in my hand. I didn't even have contacts in my eyes. And I said, I'm going to drive us down the canyon right now. We're going home.
I was like, we can't do this. Thankfully, our other 2 counselors were like, it's fine. But I was like, where am I supposed to sleep, you guys? You want me to bunk up with you in your air mattress? Hannah's already deflating it at this point.
I was not having it. And I feel like it was like the other counselors were so good. They were like, oh, no, it's fine. Like, let's just sleep in here. And you and me were like,
I don't know how you could possibly sleep.
I cannot sleep in this
No.
room. Yeah.
So we went back a couple times. Let's go get a tent. Heber's up the road. We could just run to the Walmart. Let's just go buy a tent. You were texting your husband at one point. Can you bring us a tent? Which no responses.
Yeah, nothing,
really bad
it
service.
Was 11:30 at night.
That too. So we were just like, what do we do? And I literally at this point, I'm talking with my camp director. Do we need to wake the girls up? Do we just go and sleep at the church? And then I even said, me and Hannah are just going home. Like, we became a package deal all of a sudden. I was like, we could tell we were not doing this. So I was like, we'll go drive home. We'll see y'all in the morning.
We'll come back. We'll come back.
30-minute drive. And they were just like, you guys have got to calm down.
Respectfully, stop.
Yeah. So we finally came up to the idea, like, we'll go sleep downstairs. Because for some reason, I even said, I was cleaning downstairs and it was cleaner downstairs.
Yeah.
There were more issues upstairs.
Heat rises and so do bugs. And the mouse poop.
And mice. Everything. So we went and slept on this giant sectional. Correction. I slept on the couch. You brought your air mattress
brought
down,
my air mattress
which
down.
was smart.
We just had the same memory at the same time.
How did you know?
I knew it. Because it's funny now. We can laugh. It was a couple weeks ago.
We were not laughing, even though. So she puts her air mattress down. Now I'm already freaking out because I'm like, I already know that there are bugs in this couch. I know that. So I'm stuffing all this person's blanket. I'm like, I'm going to use your blankets at this point. They're getting
The blankets
stuffed.
were clean.
Great. They were great.
They were
so
clean.
I think I slept on like 4 blankets that were all stuffed in the cracks. And then Hannah, because apparently we were so devoted to each other at this time, we had to make sure our heads were by each other. So your air mattress was like right next to me on the couch. And then you can say what happened.
I said, so we had been dealing with everything while we were outside that night at the campfire. The camp director would let us know, hey, there are bats going into the chimney. I can see them. And we were like, great. As long as they're not inside anymore, we're chilling. Bats belong in the outdoors.
Right.
I believe that. And I still believe that.
Yes.
So I put my air mattress down. I'm like, okay, we've got it. We just have to go to sleep. Like, just don't think about it. Like, I got to shut my brain off. It's midnight at this point.
Yeah.
We're weird. Like, we were being weird. We were tired.
We were.
And I look over. And so I got McKenna on one side on the couch. And then I look over and it's the chimney. And I said, oh, perfect. So we just swapped the mouse poop for listening to bats go all night long. All night. And they did. They absolutely did. They turned on the fans in there to try and kind of like drown it out with some noise. I had my Spotify. I have one thing downloaded. It's pink noise. And I turned that on full blast next to my head. I was like, oh my word. How much did you sleep that first night? I think I slept.
I think I was going on 3 hours.
I kept waking up and then going back to sleep, waking up, going back to sleep. It couldn't have been more than 4.5 hours. It couldn't, because all the bats. All night long. Well, and I was like, I assumed they were bats. Yeah. And then the next day when we got into service, I Googled, what do bats sound like? And I played it for her. I said, my God, it was bats.
So like if you just would have opened, because it was a chimney with the door.
Yeah.
Like you could have, it gets me all creepy.
So we were safe.
As long as no one opened that door. But I was jumping up because I kept thinking I was hearing mice on the wood floor. Oh, it was... If any of the young women of Geneva Heights 7th Ward listen to this, just know that your leaders went through so much on your behalf.
I kept saying, better us than them.
That became our slogan of the week. Better us than the girls. Mm-hmm. Because as it continued on, yes. So, yeah, that was a great first night. Mm-hmm. Wednesday came. We went to the crater.
So cool.
Amazing. If you're ever in Midway, you've got to go.
It's an absolutely must go, I think, for everyone at one time in their lives. It's so unique and different and fun. Very worth the, what was it, $16?
Yeah.
20?
Or I think it was 25 a person. But it's still worth it.
But it's still worth it. It was very cool.
And we have a small ward, so don't ever be mad about having a small ward. Mm-hmm. It's great. And yeah, I think that was one of the girls said, it was like one of the best activities. So we were coming on that high, and then we get to Thursday, which is the spiritual day. We're doing our faith walk, our testimony, and our bishopric comes up that night. And, you know, as girls' camp is, there's just always things that happen. And probably as leaders, we take it on way more.
I had no idea. Kudos to anyone who is a young women's leader at camp, because it's like a different level of positivity that you have to have, and spiritual. Like it's kind of intense. Again, a marathon.
It is. Anyone who's been to girls camp, you know, because it is the pinnacle of young women's. It is. And we knew we had 2 girls leaving, but we had a lot of these young girls still here that it was their first time. It was like middle ground. We had everyone. So it was like you're trying to appease of everyone. And naturally, what I did, which I don't recommend, is I tend to take everything on. Because in this moment where I was like, I'm the president, I need to deal with any hard things or whatnot's going on, I did. And thank heavens for my roommate, my air mattress roommate, because you helped me cope through a lot of things, but also sort things out. And I couldn't do it without you.
Yeah.
So thank heavens for the mice poop, because I think that was an answered prayer in a weird
I always felt like we were friends before that, but something about that night, I was like, this is like a blood bond. Like we just truly, we were so on the same page about that, and no one else was. And it was just you and me, like, we can't sleep in this room. When it was like, okay, next option. Yeah. Just together, you and me.
Like it was just, and then that continued. There were many things throughout that I just needed someone else to kind of like see my perspective on.
Yeah.
And we're talking like there was no reception. So it was truly me trying to, this is my first time I've ever done a girls camp, been a young women's president. So there were many times that I'm like, I cannot handle this.
Yeah.
And thank heavens, that's where our Heavenly Father knew. I mean, my whole presidency, my camp director as well. But you saw a lot of moments for me and you helped me through this. So
Yeah.
that's why she's on this podcast.
It was absolutely great. Look at that.
The Faith Walk, we'll give it to you because we highly suggest. We are going to trademark it as the Geneva Heights 7th Ward Faith Walk. So please do it though, because I do believe it was the best thing we've ever done.
I didn't realize how much it would impact me as a leader to do this faith walk, because I always just assumed as a leader, you're doing it for the girls. So it's just like, oh, okay, you're gonna do this, and then they do this, and that's great. But I was bawling. Are we talking about it?
Yes.
Okay.
We're talking about it.
Okay. So we had this little path that we would go on. It was a little walk.
Oh yeah. You guys have heard of hot girl walks. We called it a holy girl walk.
So it was our holy girl walking path. And all of the leaders were like stationed at different points. And so our camp director sent the girls off, and the first place they got to was me. And I was holding a little mirror, and on the mirror, we wanted to do affirmations. And as we were like thinking about the affirmations we were going to write, it just hit us that we needed to do the young women's theme. It's a new theme. Mm-hmm. If you aren't familiar with it, definitely go look. I'd recite it, but I'm also not familiar with it still. A year and a half later,
Yep.
But it's a new theme. But the first girl comes up to me and she's giving me this affirmation. I'm a beloved daughter of heavenly parents with a divine nature and an eternal destiny. They're looking in this mirror and they're reciting it out loud.
And you're just holding it. Like they just see themselves.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And then we're giving them these little lights that light up. And they had little tea lights, fake ones.
Woods,
because the woods. So we turn the light on and we give it to them, and they're collecting these lights as they go along. Mm-hmm. And it was just so symbolic of like everything. Like, I want to be a light for them. I want to give them more light so that in their life they can watch that light shine. And like, it just hit me hard. One of the girls came up to me and she was already crying and was kind of just laughing. And I was like, okay, like, be serious. I was like, come on. And it just, I don't know. I really didn't expect it to hit me that hard, but as every single girl came, and then the girls whose last camp it was,
we made them go last, which I thought was my smartest move. And I agree it was, but man, did that really send it home for all of us.
So they come and it's their last girls camp. They're thinking about all the things they've learned, and they were bawling. I was bawling. Everyone was bawling. They went to the other leaders and then they ended up. Yeah.
Because when they're walking leader to leader, you guys aren't in close proximity.
No,
they have to walk, like they knew the trail. Mm-hmm. And most likely when you get a couple steps, you could start seeing in the distance. But for a time in between leaders, these girls are having to walk by themselves.
Yeah, completely.
Which was the whole point, like deeper meaning, bigger picture. It was like, we're going to compare this and bridge this to your life.
Yeah.
And so, yes, we had you, then Tally, then Vanessa, and between the three of you, you got through the whole thing. Mm-hmm. And then they get to Bishop, who we basically said, hey, you're a part of this last second. And he had a mirror, but it was like a hand mirror. Mm-hmm. And then he would give it to the girls, and he told them the things that he saw in them, like from a Bishop's perspective. Oh my. And by the way, he has 2 of his daughters and young women. Ooh. I was like, okay.
Tears. And then you got them at the end.
And then I got them at the end. So at this point, when they got to me, I'm like pretty much right by the fire. We set up all these tea lights that kind of showed like a path to the fire. And when they get to me, they give me their lights that they've collected. And I just had to come up with something. I was like, okay, how do you end this? And they're walking into the testimony meeting, which, as you know, girls camp, the big part is the testimony meeting. So how am I going to send them off at this point? And so basically all I said was, you have finished this walk of faith. And while it will not be your last, you have gained the strength and experience from this one to help you with your future walks of faith. Something like that.
You said that to us too, as the leaders.
So I was going to say yes, because we were all knowing this. So then they would give me their lights. We gave them a necklace that me and the camp director had made them, and a flower. And then they go and walk to the testimony meeting. We have testimony meetings. Oh my goodness. Love those girls. But yes, right before testimony meeting, you guys were coming back from your spot. And it was like the one moment we had. And so I just pulled you three aside. And I was like, I just need to tell you this. And I basically recited to you guys. And we're just all bawling because I was like,
Sobbing.
It's our last thing. Like, it's our last night. And we know after this girls' camp, like, this is it for us.
Yeah.
And not that we won't be in each other's lives, but it was just like an ending. So
it was so good. And testimony meeting made up for any hardship of that week. Like
100%.
that, just watching the girls, the classic, like the, I didn't want to come, but I'm so glad I did, you know, and the testimonies of the youth today are incredible.
Yes.
I don't think I had a testimony like that until I was 18, 19. Like, they are so strong. They have such special spirits. They're so kind to one another. They just have so much light about them naturally. It's, yeah, that testimony meeting was incredible too.
So good.
So good.
Oh, everything about that. And then we had told the girls previously at like that day, earlier that day, that our presidency was going to be getting released. And it was hard because last girls camp, they had other leaders who were leaving and they told them at girls camp. So we're like, we're sorry. And you know what's funny? Our ward gets labeled as someone I heard say is like the apartment ward. So there's always people moving and going, and it makes it really hard. But the one thing I thought afterwards, I was like, you know what though? Because even though now like we're a part of that, we're moving, is I call it like the reset ward. The revival ward, because I feel like there was something, you know, I started in that ward at a very deep, dark place after Bo and everything, but it's like, man, it has like reset and revived my testimony, my spirit. And I don't know how you feel about that, but
absolutely. I feel like this last year and a half has been kind of like when you explained it at the YCL graduation dinner night, that was the same thing. I was like, this is how I felt this last year and a half. And I felt like that whole weekend kind of, what is this on the CPR machine?
Oh my gosh.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Defibrillator.
A defibrillator.
There you go.
I can't say it. Defibrillator?
Yep.
It did that for me. Like
Really?
It was like shocked me back to life and wanting to be more diligent about reading my scriptures and be more diligent about like strengthening my relationship with the Savior. I feel like exactly 100% this word has like seen me through difficult things. And then right as I'm about to leave, it's like, okay, but here's what we're sending you off with. And it's like a kick, you know, a jump start. It's amazing.
The people who go through that word and who are in that word to help that are incredible. So with that, where are you going? What is life looking like now? Where are you headed?
Who knows? No, we're headed up to Logan. I'm going to grad school to become an audiologist.
Wow.
I will be Dr. T.
Because no one will still be able to say the
name.
name.
One will know. No one will know how to say it. Yeah. So I'm going to more school for audiology. Matt is trying to find a job out there. He wants to become a post office worker.
He would be great.
He wants to deliver the mail.
Do you know how many people would be like so happy to call out to Matt? Like, Matt.
He's so friendly.
Yes.
He's so friendly. So yeah, he's going to try to get a thing up there. We're getting a cat. We're restarting our lives.
Yeah.
In Logan. And I found out today they do have a Chick-fil-A. So everything is going to be fine.
Everything's fine.
Everything's fine. I was panicking for a second, looked it up in the Chick-fil-A line in Orem and said, oh my gosh, is there one up there? There is. Everything's fine.
We're fine.
Yeah.
We can go now.
Yeah, we're fine. Oh, we went up to Logan a couple months ago and Matt wanted to visit a Polynesian ward if they had it there. So we went to a Tongan ward. Again, Matt's Samoan. And so we were there and they were like, oh, what's your last name? And they're like, oh, that's a Samoan last name. Well, we're starting a Samoan branch in August.
Hello, Bishop T.
Right? I know. I said, Matt, are you the new elders card president? Did you just sign up for that? So yeah, so we're planning on moving into like a branch that's literally in its beginning stages.
You just are with all of these things right in the beginning.
I'm so excited.
You are a seed.
It's because I have
you bloom.
That's so nice.
Wow.
It's because I have a lot of energy.
People gravitate towards you.
Yeah.
Okay, well, this isn't the end for us. I've already told you, like, we're coming up to Logan.
And I'm going to invent my war room. I haven't told you that yet, but I am.
Wait, stop
it's
it. Really?
In the corner of my walk-in closet at my new house.
Oh my god.
I'm so excited.
Okay, I'm so touched. Ava was just saying, she's like, can I come see yours? And I was like, yes.
So cute.
Everyone come see my war room. That's another episode.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so touched.
I know. I'm so excited.
It's not me. It's the Lord.
I'll send you so many pictures of it.
Yes.
But you inspired me. You were the conduit for me.
Oh, and by the way, I ended up getting sick after camp.
Oh, yeah.
We were very worried that I had hantavirus.
Yeah, which we still have a week and a half
We could still figure out. They did test me for Giardia. That was no. So it might just be stress.
I think it could have been.
I think it could. That's what Britton's going on. He's like, You tend to take a lot on, so I bet it was stress. It's like, yep, we're working on it. So much for my restorative summer. No, it is. Okay. Thank you so much.
Yes.
And hopefully you all just adore Hannah as much as I do. Where can they find you? Because people are going to have to be inspired by your light.
In Logan or social
Instagram.
media.
You're like, I've said it 3 times.
I said Logan. No, it's Hannah Tuala Mali.
Oh, it's just Hannah _ Tua.
Hannah 2_ Tua. Tua.
I'll put it in the bio.
Do it.
So people can reach out to you. But if you're in Logan, definitely meet Hannah.
And in 4 years, if you need a cochlear implant or a hearing aid, talk to me.
I'm calling you. I love you. Thank you for your light in my life. I'm just so blessed. And thank you to whoever you are listening to this episode. We're just so grateful to have you here. Hopefully you know how much you are loved, and have a great day. Bye.